श्री सच्चिदानंद सद्गुरु साईनाथ महाराज की जय. Sri Sai Satcharitra, an Insight, Episode 111. My humble prostrations at the lotus feet of our Sadguru Sai. By the divine grace of Sai, an attempt has been made to translate the gist of the divine discourse of Sri Ramanathan Brother telecasted in Sai TV. This is purely done to share the glory of Sai and his divine teachings with more insight to the aspirants. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahmam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Devotees, now let us listen to the Leela experienced by Amir Shakkar regarding Baba's protection from snakes. This miracle has been expounded by Hemat Panji in Sri Sai Satcharitra, chapter 22. Who is this Amir Shakkar? Where did he reside? Amir Shakkar was a resident of a village named Korale, situated at Kopargaon Taluk. Listeners might be very familiar with the name Amir Shakkar. This Muslim devotee of Baba was the one who started the sandal procession. This is a procession held in honor of great Muslim saints and was held on Sri Ramanavami in Shiradi. The sandal procession was managed by Mr. Amir Shakkar for the first 3 years and then afterwards by his wife. So, the procession of flags by Hindus on Sri Ramanavami and the sandal procession by Muslims went on side by side without any hitch. We have also discussed in brief about the village Korale and about the various philanthropic activities rendered by Sri Sai Mandir Korale Trust. Devotees might also recall about the presence of divine padukas of Sri Sai Maharaj at this temple. This rock embedded footprint of Baba was taken from Shiradi, which was the impression of the holy feet of Sai that got embedded on one of the hillocks that Baba stood to feed the birds, cats, and dogs from the food he collected during his begging rounds. Devotees, we have listened in the earlier episodes that in the state of Maharashtra, surname is given more importance and they are very interesting and have various origins, because that not only reveals their caste or the family name but also their family profession. Before the British rule, the Maharashtra region was divided into many revenue divisions. The medieval equivalent of a country or district was the Pargana. The chief of the Pargana was called Deshmukh and record keepers were called Deshpande. The lowest administrative unit was the village. Village society in Marathi areas included the Patil or the head of the village, collector of revenue and Kulkarni in the village record keeper. The village also used to have 12 hereditary servants called the Baludetadar. The Baludetadar system was supportive of the agricultural sector. Servants under this system provided services to the farmers and the economic system of the village. The base of this system was caste. The servants were responsible for tasks specific to their caste. There were 12 kinds of servants under Bara Baludetadar. These were Joshi, village priest and astrologer, Sonar, goldsmith, Sutar, carpenter, Nahavi, barber, Parit, washerman, Teli, oil presser, Kumbar, potter, Chambar, cobbler, Dord Koli, fisherman or water carrier, Chaugla, assistant to Patil, Monk, rope maker, and Mahar, village security. In exchange for their services, the Baludetadars were granted complex sets of hereditary rights known as Vatan to a share in the village harvest. Devotees, you might wonder why I had to list down these hereditary positions, because we want to give every single detail possible to understand the connections that the names of these devotees had with their village. So, Amir Shakkar Dalal was one such Vatandar who had hereditary rights in the village of Korale. And moreover, Amir Shakkar Dalal worked as a commission agent in Bandra, an upscale coastal suburb located in Mumbai. Amir Shakkar was a well-known agent in that area. He earned good money from his business. His last name Dalal denotes agent or commission agent. He belonged to the butcher caste. As I just mentioned, the Baludetadars had hereditary rights known as Vatan, and they were responsible for the tasks specific to their caste. For example, if there is a Kumbar, that is a potter in a village, then all kinds of job related to this occupation must be given only to that family, as they have the right to perform that task. Similarly, though Amir Shakkar belonged to a butcher caste, because he did the job of commission agent, he was known as Amir Shakkar Dalal. This Amir Shakkar Dalal once suffered from rheumatism, which gave him intense joint pains. He was even unable to walk short distance. The pain confined his movements and made him remain at his house always. He was devoted to Baba, was aware of the potencies of Baba, and believed that Baba can relieve him from this pain. So, he planned to come to Shirdi, leaving his business at Bandra. He wound up everything there and came for Baba's darshan, and as per the Islamic practice, he bowed down, kissed Baba's hand, and in detail narrated about his disease and prayed for relief from his suffering. When he pleaded Baba for aid against rheumatism, Baba decreed thus: "Go and live happily in the Chavadi." So, the place allocated for Amir Shakkar was Chavadi, and this was not a comfortable one, as it was an old and dilapidated building with uneven floor where chameleons, lizards, scorpions, and snakes roamed freely. Though Amir Shakkar was only a commission agent at Bandra, he was making good money from his business and was leading a comfortable life. So, for such a person, Chavadi is not a convenient place to stay. Moreover, Baba instructed him to stay there for a period of 9 months, not minding the difficulties. Even if we make a rough estimate of the timeline, this incident would have occurred during the year 1900. By then, the Chavadi building was already 300 years old. Yes, the history of this building is simply astounding. This was built by Malik Kambar, the Diwan of Ahmednagar, around 1597. Now, one can imagine the physical condition of this old building. It was not at all optimal for the use. When it rained, the roof would leak, and below the ground was wet. The floor was uneven. Cold breezes blew through it. The place was extremely wet and cold. This caused all the joints in Amir Shakkar's body to become stiffer. There was knee-deep heap of garbage at the rear side. Several burrows in the backyard were made by serpents and scorpions. Amir was very troubled, but he did not say anything to Baba. He obeyed the dictum of Baba and stayed there. Besides these inconveniences, lepers and other diseased persons lived in the Chavadi. Dogs roamed around eating leftover food. Amir Shakkar was in a miserable condition and it was a real nightmare of a lifetime for him. In the later years, this Chavadi was renovated with the donations offered by Annachin Chanikar, and the south-facing Chavadi holds a plaque on which is inscribed Sri Sainath Babanchi Lakshmi Bai Damodar Babre Chinchanikar Chavadi, Saka 1859. We shall discuss upon this in detail in the later episodes. Devotees, please pay your attention to this narration of Hemat Panji. A person who led a very comfortable life has been asked to stay in a place which was considered unsuitable for anyone with such an ailment. Even if Baba had asked Amir Shakkar to stay in Korale, that would be agreeable for him. For any onlooker, the place suggested by Baba for Amir Shakkar's stay will appear to be unhygienic and inconvenient, as the latter is suffering from the rheumatic pains, and therefore the open and wet surfaces of Chavadi might certainly cause more discomforts. But devotees, here the place of stay is immaterial, as the words of Baba, which are enigmatic, would cure the disease of Amir Shakkar. I cannot imagine the plight of Amir Shakkar because he was leading a comfortable life until then. He went to Baba for relief from his ailments, and in no time he was instructed to stay in a place which was completely inappropriate to stay, that was occupied by beggars and diseased people. If given a situation of this kind, I am sure it would have been a very tormenting condition for many of us. But Amir Shakkar, though was in a pitiful condition, he was stern in his decision. He recalled the words of Baba, and whether it was rain or wind, the ground was rough, uneven, or pitted, he never bothered. Baba's words were law to him. He abided by it and stayed there for 9 months. In fact, this was a kind of imprisonment for Amir, because he was even prohibited to come to Dwarakamai for darshan. Amir Shakkar had unswerving faith on Baba, so without an iota of doubt, he followed the instructions of Baba word to word. Though outwardly Amir Shakkar seemed to be in a very tormented situation, he was very fortunate and blessed, because without any effort he was able to have Baba's darshan. Who can fathom the methods of Baba? Any person having rheumatic disorders will endure chronic, often intermittent pain, causing stiffness and swelling in the joints, leading to ill health, affecting their physical movements. Baba, knowing the plight of Amir, wanted to give him sufficient rest by restricting the movement of Amir Shakkar, as otherwise it would aggravate his joint pains. Hence, Baba might have chosen Chavadi for his stay, because from there he could also have his darshan every day without any trouble. Let us see how that materialized. This reminds me of the tradition followed in the temples in India. In every temple, we can see a bigger pratima of the deity deep in the sanctum sanctorum, and a smaller deity of the same god would be found in the foreground. This smaller god is known as Utsava Murti, usually made of brass, and is always elaborately dressed in silk cloths with jewels and flowers. This deity is known as Utsavar or Utsava Murti. Utsavam means festival, and Utsavar is the pratima of the festival deity, usually taken during temple festival processions, as the main deity, otherwise called as Moolavar or Moolavar Murti, is usually installed in the temple and will not be moved from the sanctum sanctorum. So, during festivals, the Woodsever will be taken through the streets in a colorful procession accompanied by music and dancing. On festival days, temples will be flooded with devotees. So, sick and old people might not be able to go to temple for darshan. But when the same God is carried on palanquins by the devotees and taken out in the streets, those who are unable to come to have a glimpse of the Moolavar in the temple can worship in the Utsava Murti and offer their prayers to that great Lord just from their own homes. Wow! Isn't this a unique and one of the greatest traditions of the Sanatana Dharma? For those who could not come to the temple, the Lord visits them at their doorsteps and showers His blessings upon them. So, none had to worry, as otherwise they would have missed the blissful darshan of the God on those sacred days. Devotees, it looks as though Baba, the God on earth, also used one of these methods to bless Amir Shakar. Baba knew that Amir Shakar has stiff muscles. So, rather than making him walk to Dwarakamai or anywhere to have his darshan, Baba himself went and gave his darshan and fulfilled the longing of his devotee. Amir Shakar had Baba's darshan without any effort. Let us see how this was feasible. When one climbs the steps into Chavadi, right in front was Amir Shakar's bed. He spread it in the middle of the room, so he had a clear view of the road, and every day when Baba went for his begging rounds, he passed the Chavadi on his way. And it was very easy for Amir Shakar to have a direct darshan of Baba without leaving his place. What a wonderful blessing for him! And besides that, on alternate days, he was blessed to behold the glorious Chavadi procession and Arati at both the times, that is, both in the evening and in the morning. He witnessed the grand celebrations at the Chavadi to his heart's content. Devotees, the Chavadi procession, which is held each Thursday evening, now at Shiradi, used to take place on every alternate day during Baba's sojourn. In fact, the distance between Dwarakamai and Chavadi is just few meters, but in those days, to cover this distance, it would take few hours, as the procession was done in the form of a grand affair with all pomp and paraphernalia by the loving devotees of Sainath Maharaj. Now, we can only imagine this beautiful procession as described by Sri Hemat Panji in Sri Sai Satcharitra, and we shall discuss in detail about this in the future episodes. So, devotees, the great Lord Sai Baba went and stayed in Chavadi every alternate day, and Amir Shakar was also staying in the same Chavadi. Is not this a great boon for him? So, Amir Shakar had Baba's darshan every day during Baba's Bhiksha rounds in the morning, and sometimes Baba would go for begging multiple times, and every time he went for taking alms, Amir Shakar was able to have a glimpse of Baba. We have discussed about Baba's Bhiksha rounds in detail in the earlier episodes. At whose command the Lord of Wealth, Kubera, was ready to serve, begged for his food from 5 houses in Shiradi. The path in which Sai walked to these 5 houses, when connected, displayed the symbol of Pranavam, that is Om in Tamil language. Some of these houses have been demolished and turned to shopping complex or restaurants. When Baba has decided to go for begging rounds, he would come out of Dwarakamai, walk to Chavadi, and near Chavadi is where Narasimha temple next to Sakaram Patil Shelke's house. And this is the first house in which Baba would accept his bhiksha. This Narasimha temple was constructed by the family members of Shakaram Shelke. After receiving the bhiksha from Shakaram's house, Baba would come near Chavadi and then cross the road to go to Vamanrao Kodkar's house, which was just opposite to Chavadi and neighboring Abdul Baba's cottage. So, Baba walks down the lane from Dwarakamai to Chavadi and walks few meters along the street, then returns to Chavadi to go to the opposite side of the street. From there, carrying his joli and bhiksha vessel, Baba proceeds to Bayaji Apakote Patil, and all these strolling of Baba will be clearly visible from Chavadi, as that is the commencing spot and the center point to both these houses. Thus, Amir Shakkar, having fixed his bedding perfectly in the middle of the Chavadi, was blessed to behold this divine sight of Baba's bhiksha rounds. This darshan of Baba delighted Amir Shakkar. Every part of his day was a bliss, and every glimpse at Sainath Maharaj showered healing grace upon him. In addition to that, every morning and evening Baba would stroll to Lendibag. But just in the evenings, before going to Lendibag, Baba would go and stand in front of Dakshinmukhi Hanuman Mandir and would pay homage to all the directions, bowing his head and moving his index finger. When Sainath Maharaj made these signs, he seemed to be in a state of ecstasy, and Amir Shakkar, sitting at Chavadi, easily watched the divine gestures and blissful state of Baba from his seat every evening. Then, from there, Baba would turn back and walk up to the corner of the present Samadhi building, and from here he turned back to Dwarakamai accompanied by his devotees. Why did Baba make these gestures every evening? The explanations are astounding. In the later years, when Pujya Sri Narasimha Swamiji interviewed Abdul Baba, one of the great devotees of Baba, said that Baba would always enter the Lendibag alone through the west and would send the band of devotees to return. He also sat facing the west in his back to the Nanda Deep. This Nanda Deep is an Akhand Deep, which means it is ever lit, and Baba asked Abdul Baba to look after this lamp, then asked him to get pitchers of water, which he poured in all directions along with incantations and chants. What he uttered was incomprehensible. Now, is there any connection between the gestures made by Baba at Lendibag and the hand gestures in front of Chavadi? Why did Baba do this? Let us listen to the astounding explanations for those unfathomable divine acts of Sai in the coming episode. Bow to Sri Sai. Peace be to all. Om Sai Ram.